I've never known a manager win nothing so many times and keep falling upwards.
Yeah,
the
get
Roberto Martinez.
better job after better job.
Hello again, and welcome to the global sports award-winning podcast, Yahoo Footballing Weekly, with me, the award-winning Neil Humphreys, Yahoo columnist.
And me, the award-winning Yahoo editor, Chia Keong.
And the award-winning director, Jay,
right in front of us.
who's behind the camera.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Three of us been doing this since season 1.
Yeah, and the award-winning, I'm just keep going.
Yeah.
And the award-winning listeners and viewers, thank you for helping us to win the Diversity Award.
Yeah.
How often are we going to mention it? Until the end of the season?
Up to you.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, until they show, give us a award, something
If
like
not, we are shamelessly going to go to a trophy shop in Singapore.
Buy one
and put our
Engrave
own
it,
engraving on it. Yeah,
awesome,
brilliant.
awesome.
But as always, thanks to you, wonderful folks. Lots of comments, lots of feedback, record numbers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's all up. And because of that, we have a sponsor. Our friends at StarHub are back.
Yep, they are back sponsoring us. Thank you very much, StarHub. And obviously, they are the Premier League broadcaster, which means they have a lot of promotions for you to sign up to their Premier League package. So right now, if you sign up for that package, it costs $25.22.
Crazy.
Pretty worth it. Pretty worth it.
It's an
Very
absolute
worth it.
steal. It's a bargain.
Yeah,
I think when you buy that StarHub package, you might as well have a balaclava and a shotgun.
Oh, come
you
on.
are stealing it. $25.22 a month giveaway.
Yeah, and then, what you get is like, what a good deal. You get all the matches live, obviously.
Every game.
Yep, everything. You can watch it on multiple devices, your iPad, your iPhone, your laptop, your everything, TV as well. 4K, ultra high definition quality.
I've got it. I got the new black box. The Bang & Olufsen box.
He's going to brag every day.
I've got the Bang & Olufsen box.
Yeah.
And the picture quality.
Awesome.
Out of this world.
That's right. And then you can rewatch, replays. If you can't watch it at night, wake up the next day, you can see the full match. No problem.
Yep.
And best of all, if you are the pioneer generation or the young generation, you get 50% off. That's even cheaper. Almost $12 more, just a bit over $12. That's even more worth it.
Brilliant. Do you know I got asked the other day by a student at a school if I was one of the pioneer generation? How old do you think I am? I mean, seriously.
So that is very sad.
I look face on to the camera because most of my grey hair is behind.
Absolutely.
But so if you are a member of the pioneer generation,
here's the website. Go and sign up. For StarHub, okay?
Brilliant bargain. And thanks again, as always, loads of comments from you wonderful listeners and viewers.
So this week is the international week, so no Premier League games. So we'll do a bit of a miscellaneous kind of podcast. We got
odds and sods.
We'll do some comments. We'll talk about Euro 2024, and then we'll talk about a very important match that's coming up for the Lions. So we start off with the comments.
Yeah.
Okay. So last week we didn't get to do comments because Bayaki overran.
Yeah, and if you missed that, do listen. It's available on YouTube and Spotify. Great interview with Bayaki about the Singapore Youth League.
That's right. So Hazel Ma here says, Reddy, which is Reddy Avramovic, our former coach, he won mainly with an influx of foreigner conversion, means naturalised players, which... There's a case to be made, but
which would be Alexander Duric, Daniel Bennett,
Chuli, and Precious. I think
Precious was around that time.
Was around that time, yeah. So, but this viewer said we need to look at 1994 to see the real Lions success. First, get a tough fitness instructor to whip up the Lions into shape. Ken Warden, wow, that's a long forgotten name.
Yeah.
Ken Warden took the Lions on a 5 to 7 kilometer runs before starting basic training. Those whose legs were weak after the runs must buck up or get benched. The Lions won the M-League and Cup due to superior fitness and some magic from Fandi Ahmad and Abbas Saad. Today, the Lions often slow down after the 50th minutes, from the 50th minute onwards. Very soon, they'll let in silly goals. So Coach Ogura, that's our new coach, if you are reading, focus the next 3 to 6 months demanding physical fitness in all clubs. Without fitness, international games will be lost after 60 minutes of defending. What I feel is there's some truth in it. You definitely need some good fitness. But I feel it is not up to the coach, the national coach, to drill this thing in. The players themselves, they are professional players. Okay, during the Malaysia Cup days, they are still amateurs, which is why Ken Warden was unsatisfied with the fitness. But now, all of the players are professional. They just do football under contract 24/7.
Yep.
And if they don't have that sense of keeping up their fitness for at least club or even international level, then they shouldn't be picked by our Lions head coach.
Yeah.
It's all up to the players. I don't think it's up to the coaches. The coaches should expect the players to come in tip-top fitness condition and not say, I'm going to waste time on drilling, putting them up to mark in fitness. No, he doesn't have time to do that.
Couldn't agree more, actually. I couldn't agree more. And Hazel does make a good point about the fitness of Ken Warden. I just have to clarify, in fairness to Raddy, he was also known, he brought in that Bold Tuck fella, you remember?
Yes, the Serbian,
who just drilled them mercilessly.
Correct.
So that part I agree with. Singapore Lions can't match the talent pool of other countries. Where we can compete is on our fitness and our stamina. And when you consider we're supposed to be this infrastructure hub, therefore we have the sports scientists, we have the facilities,
nutritionists,
we have the training centres. So I agree, the fitness should not be an issue. Our fitness should be up to, if not exceeding, everyone else in the region. We can do that. Where I do agree with you is we have this still slightly kampong mindset where we get big fish in a puddle syndrome sometimes, meaning in the past, no names, we've had one or two footballers, a couple of caps for Singapore, and they think they've done it. They think they've arrived. You know, they're the next Fandi Ahmad. And then it doesn't quite work out that way. They take
foot off the pedal.
Yeah, they don't take the Cristiano Ronaldo approach, shall I say, just driven. So that mentality needs to change. Just because you've made it for Singapore, that's the beginning. Yeah, it's not the end. So that's where I agree.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all up to the players. That's what I feel. I mean, it's less the coaches. The coaches obviously they will expect the fitness levels to be at some level. If they want to push a bit more, yes, they can. But ultimately, fitness and being able to play international level fitness depends on the players.
I mean, the obvious example would be Alexander Duric. He was the fittest player when he arrived in Singapore, and he was still the fittest player when he retired at 43.
And the insane levels, the insane lengths he went to keep himself fit is amazing.
Brilliant. But let us know what you think, as always. Okay, what do we got next?
Right. Sydney Grongs 8467, regular contributor. Thanks again. Great show again, guys. And as always, thanks for covering the local game at an award-winning level. Not bad.
Award-winning level. I like that.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. So, agree, we need to get heritage players who are doing wonders overseas. However, so far, there are only two, Perry Ng and Luke O'Nien. Maybe we should look more at naturalisation. How can we get the numerous talented foreigners already playing in the Singapore Premier League to naturalise? There are a number of good players already playing in the countries, have a solid experience in SG football, and are super talented due to their foreign playing experience that we can potentially entice to play for the Lions. And I think, there have been talks. I think some of the Japanese players who are playing for LB Rex Niigata as well, then later moved on to play for Tampines and Balestier. I can't remember the names right now, but okay. I think they did. There are some advances. I mean, FAS did speak to them and they say, okay, we will consider that. I mean, there have been some moves by it. And okay, Lion City Sailors, well, you consider Maxime Lestien. I doubt that he will to naturalize to Singapore, although he has said that he likes living here. But yeah, I mean, but we also shouldn't forget about heritage players. I mean, whenever there's a chance, if there's a chance, we should do it. Naturalization and heritage players need not be exclusive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, naturalizing players who are already playing in the Singapore Premier League, as you say, is a short-term gap. It's a short-term measurement to plug a gap. It's okay. But I'm old school. I'm a little bit idealistic. I still believe if you're going to plant deep cultural roots long term, then ideally heritage players would serve that better because they do have
roots.
Correct. They have authentic links to their country. Luke O'Neill has authentic links to Singapore. He is a Singaporean descendant. So when he hopefully plays for Singapore, Luke, if you're listening, or anyone at Sunderland.
Or anyone at FAS or MINDEF or whatever.
You know who to call. Get in touch with Luke's agent. But if Luke O'Neill does end up playing for Singapore, I hope, then the fans watching, they see something. It's a spiritual umbilical cord, a connection between a guy with Singaporean roots with the people on the terraces with Singaporean roots. Long term, that's the kind of connection you want to shape or establish between the footballer and the fan.
Yeah. Even though your roots might be uprooted from Singapore to go to, and it's a very globalized
world. We're a transit state. Singaporeans come in, they go out, they come in, they go out.
Now it also gives hope to those who have already made the move out of Singapore and, maybe settle in a citizenship somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, they can if there are heritage players allowed to play for Singapore, they will say, well, if I play hard enough and I do well, and then if I say I want to come back to play for Singapore, there is a route for me.
Exactly.
And I think, we shouldn't close that road. Yeah.
And the last point on that is, in a way, it doesn't really matter what we think about naturalised players, heritage players. Our rivals are doing it already.
Malaysia
is doing it. Indonesia is doing it. Philippines is doing it across all sports, across all countries.
If you see China later in the China squad, which is about to face us, you see some Brazilian names. I think it's Italian name. Like, where did that come from?
You see China, Rodrigo, Fernandinho,
Fernandinho in the thing, like, whoa, is that Chinese? Well, okay,
but look, if a country with more than 1 billion people
still
are doing it, then I think a tiny little red dot of 5 million doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, doesn't really have a choice. Yeah.
As always, let us know what you think. Right, we've got one more from Shahir.
Oh, this is a good one, man. I agree that a Singaporean team playing a J-League is a bit too far. But what about Singaporean privatized teams playing in the Malaysian Super League? Not the Young Lions or Lions 12 in the Malaysian League system, but proper clubs like Lion City Sailors and Tampines Rovers. They need to get more fans and they need more exposures. And the Malaysia Super League needs teams. They aim for 18 teams, but until now are only able to get 14 teams maximum due to many factors. Could you see a modified system where these Singapore teams play in the Malaysia League but still get to play some games in the SPL? I think there will be interest, and as a Malaysian, thank you, you're from Malaysia, nice. I would love an away day to Singapore.
Yeah, good.
I think there are good and bad things. One thing is that if you bring the top clubs from Singapore to play in Malaysia League, this league will definitely suffer. Our own league will definitely suffer. There's no way you can miss it.
It happened before with the Lions 12.
It happened before, and in Lion City Sailors, practically half the national team are in it, and then if you get them go, and then the league will definitely suffer. But I can see that if in the future every club is privatized, even the Malaysia clubs, then maybe if you put all together into one big league of Malaysia of privatized football clubs, it's sort of I will be interested. I'll be intrigued by that.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. First, Shahir, thank you. We are getting more and more listeners and viewers from Malaysia, which is great. So we appreciate that. Shahir, I'm going to go one better. If you didn't hear what I said before, you know what I'm going to say. The ASEAN Super League is possibly the way forward for regional football. Generally speaking, I do not support the European Super Leagues, but they don't need them because their domestic leagues are all established. This is different. A privatized ASEAN Super League that runs concurrently with the existing domestic leagues, whereby the top 2-3 teams you can decide qualify every year. So you would have LCS and JDT and BG Pathum playing each other. It could be once a month, once a fortnight or whatever, home and away, a regional tournament. And then You can even add a layer that the winners get automatic qualification into the AFC proper or something else, right? It wouldn't necessarily distract from the existing tournaments. It would only be once a fortnight or even once a month. It could be 12 teams. We can argue about it, 2 or 3 teams from each nation. What does it do? It pools resources, it pools audiences, it pools potential sponsors, and it only adds to the quality of the domestic leagues, because a Keong or a Tampines, they could go, right, if I'm 4th or 5th now, if I just get one extra player and finish 3rd or 2nd in the Premier League, I'm straight into the ASEAN Super League. I'm taking on Farndy's boys in Bangkok. I'm taking on JDT. For me, ASEAN Super League could potentially tick every box.
But I think it's still a long way.
It's a pipe dream.
It's a pipe dream.
It's a pipe dream.
And
it
you know,
answers Shahir's point.
After a few weeks ago, we talked about the AFF Championship already clashing with the AFC Champions League matches.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to take a lot of administrative gymnastics to do it.
I agree. 2 teams in every league, right? 2 teams. So two Singaporean, 2 Thai, 2 Indonesian, 2 Malaysian. Keep going. So we've got about 10, 12 teams. I don't know. I'm up
maybe
for it.
a 2-week event, 2-week tournament.
I think it could work. Yeah. But let us know what you think. The ASEAN Super League, yes or no? Naturalised players, yes or no? Heritage players. Send all your comments to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I keep forgetting, but it hasn't been called Twitter for about 6 months. But you know what he means. You know what he means. All right. As it's the international break, let's do a quick roundup, rattle through Euro 2024. The main contenders and who we think we're going to win or not win or flop or whatever.
Yeah, and especially now that the groups have been settled. So let's go down. Group A obviously is by host Germany is there. With Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Should be a straightforward group, but I'm not impressed with Germany at all, even though they're the host. I mean, when is the last time a world-class player came out of Germany? I can't think of anybody with maybe.
You got the young kid Musiala who plays up front for Bayern Munich. He's not a kid. He's not a kid.
Musiala. There's a Leverkusen one called Florian Wirtz or something.
Sane's doing well at Bayern, but again, not a kid. He's a veteran.
Yeah, maybe you go all the way maybe to Thomas Muller, and then you think, okay, that might be a world class player. But yeah, I mean they've not been producing great players for a while now. Although they are hoping that by hosting this Euro 2024, it could rekindle that World Cup 2016 where they also there were a bunch of relatively unknowns there, and then everybody was not fancying that, and then they went all the way to the semi-finals, and everybody these players, they're actually great players in Germany, and there's a nice summer of there's a nice positive summer for them. They're hoping the same, but I don't think so.
I can't see it. Yes, there's always a boost when you host a tournament. We know that. But looking at Germany at the moment is a bit like watching Groundhog Day, right? Because you think, he's just called back Thomas Muller. Yeah. He was there at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil when I was there.
Manuel Neuer, still there.
Mats Hummels has been recalled. And now the news is that Nagelsmann, their coach, wants to recall Toni Kroos, who retired from international football. And I looked it up. Toni Kroos is only 2 years younger than Nagelsmann. So it's like you're watching Germany thinking, is this 2014? That's half the team that won in Brazil when I was there 10 years ago. So to me, Germany's Groundhog Day, can't see it happening. But let us know what you think. Right, who's next?
Group B, this is the group of death. This is going to be the best group to watch, I think. Spain, Italy, Croatia, they were semi-finalists World Cup, and Albania. Okay, Albania maybe not, but Spain, only 2 places at least 2 places. So Spain, Italy, and Croatia are going to fight it out.
Yep.
It's going to be quite a nice, but quite nice group to watch. But I think even in this case, Spain and Italy are also a bit outdated kind of teams. They are still I think more than any other countries in Europe, they are defined by their strategies. Like Spain is tiki taka, Italy is their counter attacking, catenaccio football, whatever. But now they don't have the players to execute that to perfection. I think the players are not as good as like Xavi, Iniesta.
Correct.
And then
Busquets.
Italy. They haven't have a great striker for decades really.
This is not the Italian team that fluked, and it was a fluke.
It was fluke.
The Euros, 2.5 years ago.
And not even World Cup 2006. There's
Correct.
no Totti, there's no Del Piero anywhere.
And I think for Spain, losing Gavi, who was on his way to becoming one of the best midfielders in the world, it's a terrible injury. I hope he recovers. He's out. He was going to light up this tournament.
Yeah.
So without Gavi, I just see a very average Spanish team, Italian team. I don't see it as a group of death so much as a group of boredom. I can't really see who's going to get. I mean, they'll probably get. I think Croatia will sneak through. Never, ever rule out Croatia in the tournament level. I think they'll sneak.
Although
in
they're
there.
still relying on Luka Modric.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
And in the World Cup, he played well, even though he's like 104. He played well. So I'm going to tip Croatia and Spain to sneak through in that one.
Croatia and Spain.
All right, here we go. The big one, England.
The big one, Group C, with Denmark, Slovenia, and Serbia. England. I mean, they got so much talent. We've talked about it
ridiculous amount of talent.
The attacking talent is just ridiculous. Will Southgate unshackle the team?
That's it.
That is the crucial question. If he does, England can win the Euros.
No doubt.
No doubt. If he does not, no way.
Could not agree more. England have always been traditionally reliant upon one man. Will Owen recover? Will Rooney recover? Will Beckham recover? Now it's the manager. They're reliant upon one manager to do the right thing. If he goes with that obsessive double pivot, I don't think they'll win.
No.
Because if he does that, he has to sacrifice one of the attacking players. If you're blessed, and they are blessed, to have Foden, Bellingham and Saka at the same time,
Supporting Harry Kane.
you have got an attacking triumvirate to rival Spain at their best, right? Yeah. And you're even more blessed to have Declan Rice, who is so strong in that position. You don't need a double pivot.
Yeah, exactly.
If Arsenal can do it, England can do it. So for me, it's all about not a player, it's about one man, Southgate. Will he let those Lions off the leash? If he does, they should win. If he doesn't,
then what can we say? It already happened in World Cup 2000, the last World Cup.
Yep.
You play against France. France was up there for the taking.
Agree.
And then they played so conservative, and then they lost the quarterfinal.
Couldn't agree more. Which brings us to Group D.
Hey,
France.
Hey.
France, actually, Netherlands, Austria. What do you think?
And then the playoff team.
Yeah.
But I think they are the favorite. They should be the favorites.
Really? I thought England is the favourites, but go on, tell me why.
Okay. Well, France. The thing is that Mbappe is there, and then
of course,
he's obviously a match winner on any occasion. They got a really young and vibrant front line coming up. Although they still have Olivier Giroud.
Number 9 is their issue. I think Olivier Giroud, I think he's around 37 now.
Around there. Griezmann also coming up the age, but still effective. But they have the young ones like Thuram. They have Kolotani, is it?
Yeah.
Kolotani. And the midfielders, Chouamani and Kamavinga, are all athletic, and they can run all day long. And they are also very skillful.
But it's not the peak of Pogba and Matuidi. I used to be a big fan of Matuidi in his early PSG days. I used to really like him. They haven't replaced that. We talk about double pivot. Those two guys were fabulous.
That is true. But I think even so, I think the team has what it takes. I feel that they are just talented enough to have that edge over England.
So hang on this very show, I remember a few weeks ago you said that Mbappe was overrated. He wasn't the same player. He hadn't lived up to expectations. Now he's going to win the Euros.
What I feel is he's not worth that much of a money transfer fee or wages. But as a national player, look at his World Cup 2002 is 2022 is amazing, and then if you can replicate that, there's every chance that France.
This is where I agree. This is where France have one advantage over England and every other team at the tournament in defence. Their central defence is out of this world. If you just look at the talent at the centre-back position, they've got Theo Hernandez, Lucas Hernandez, that's AC Milan and PSG. They've got Konate, his fella. They've got Saliba. And if you want to go down the list, you've got Fofana, you've got Conde, and you've got Upamecano. That's just at centre-back. Any one of those, England would bite your hands off to put in central defence alongside John Stones. So that is where I think France have a huge advantage. They will not concede many goals.
Yeah. So, and they have a very stable coach, Didier Deschamps. I think, he and Southgate have been around for almost similar times, but Didier Deschamps is more flexible than Southgate's in his plans, and that might push him a bit more towards winning the Euro, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right, what do we got next? Okay. Group E, Belgium.
The last two groups are, Belgium, their golden generation.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing about a golden generation.
Now there's like all that, all aging, even all on their last legs.
Yep.
And I really think that their time has gone, really.
I agree completely. Yeah. You can sum up Belgium with the two players of theirs at Manchester City, right? You got Doku, who represents sort of youthful potential, and then you've got De Bruyne, who's aging pedigree. You've got no one in the middle. Right. Not enough. You've got one or two Dokus and a couple of De Bruynes, but you do not have the strength and depth in the Belgium side anymore.
So, I doubt that they'll do much during they might qualify as winners, but no.
They're still relying on Jan Vertonghen.
Yeah.
He's about 97. I didn't even know he was still around.
Speaking of relying on 97-year-olds, Portugal in Group 5, Group F, still rely on 150-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, my word. And what I have to say, I know I get brickbats for this, the world's luckiest manager, in my opinion, is Roberto Martinez. He's never won anything anywhere. He took a golden generation at Belgium and won nothing. He got a reputation developed as Wigan, wasn't it? Was it Wigan?
Yes.
Playing some nice, attractive football. All right, okay, but that was nearly 20 years ago. Everton. Won nothing, played a bit of football. Now he's at Portugal, he'll win nothing. I've never known a manager win nothing so many times and keep falling upwards.
Yeah,
Roberto Martinez.
Better job after better job, right?
So what happens after this? He fails at Portugal and what? Brazil come calling? Spain come calling? Just keep falling upwards, Roberto. Keep falling upwards.
That's good. Amazing. But but Portugal, if you are still reliant on 39-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. I agree. But what do you think? Who's going to win the Euros? Send all your comments too.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on X, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Also known as Twitter, occasionally. All right, let's wrap this up. We'll go close to home. Singapore, China, World Cup qualifier.
Yep. If I'm not wrong, we will play the day after this podcast is being uploaded. Yep. So there's a national stadium, 8:30 p.m. Singapore versus China World Cup qualifier, and obviously we have already lost our first two qualifying matches. So
to Thailand and
South Korea. Yep. So right now, in terms of qualifying, I don't think we are. I don't think we have a good chance. But we are facing a China who has also changed their coach.
Yep.
Around the same time as we did with Okura. Now they have Ivanovic, another Serbian, to take over Jankovic. So both teams are undergoing changes in personnel, and I think it's if you want to say there's no better time than to face China than right now. Yep. Everybody's going through flux. The team isn't that spectacular anyway. They did really poorly in the Asian Cup.
Yep.
So, there's every chance of putting out a positive performance, positive result at National Stadium.
I agree. Mine is very simple. No one is expecting Singapore to beat China. I checked. They haven't beat China since 1983 in the Merlion Cup, right? No one's expecting them to win. But when we had Ogura on our show, he sat here and he said he wants to see progress, he wants to see endeavour, he wants to see tenacity. If you can show those things, if you can show some progress, I think Singaporeans will accept that.
Yeah.
New coach, new day, Come on, the boys. Ogura, just show something.
Yeah.
Show something positive, and I think we'll take that.
Yeah. And who knows? There might be a chance.
Could be an upset.
Yeah.
All right, one more time. What's going to happen between Singapore and China? Send your comments too.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on X, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Brilliant. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time to do a wrap-up of where we are with the English Premier League.
Before that, just to tease more StarHub events,
Oh, yes.
they have that StarHub Football Festival coming up, 20th and 21st of April at our Tampines Hub. Gonna have a Premier League Legends versus Singapore Legends. Singapore Premier League Legends, they have John Arne Riise, David James,
Played for
Dwight
West Ham.
York, Glenn Johnson.
Played for West Ham.
Teddy Sheringham.
Played for West Ham.
Played for West Ham.
It's just a West Ham
all
legends.
Patrick Berger, no?
No.
Nah, Patrick
We
Berger.
only take good players.
Vladimir Spitzer. And then if you want Singapore Legends, also a good lineup. Alexander Durick, Bayaki Kaizan, Indra Shadan,
Rafi Ali.
Ali, Nazri Nasir.
Good boys.
All good boys. Yeah. So if you have the time, buy the tickets, enjoy a weekend of nostalgia if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah. All at the StarHub Football Festival. And 10% of the ticket sales will go to supporting the Dyslexic Association and the HCA Hospice Care.
Brilliant. Great cause. As Roy Keane would say, all great lads.
All great lads.
All great lads. We'll see you there at the StarHub Football
Festival.
Festival. Take care.
Take care.